Hey, what's going on, DDO players? Axel here. Today we're going to do my review of Keep on the Borderlands, the newest adventure pack in DDO. So Keep on the Borderlands was released on November 13th, 2019. It includes 8 quests, a new adventure area, and a public area. The pack is, of course, based on the classic module Keep on the Borderlands from Pen and Paper. The story is not too complicated. It's more of a simple story. It's about a castle in the middle of the Borderlands, kind of forest, wilderness, kind of not really forest. It's more a I would say like plains type of area, but it's a lot of grasslands and things, some hills, and there are various threats that are kind of going on in these Borderlands that are surrounding the keep. The keep is kind of in the middle of the Borderlands. So you have to, as an adventurer, deal with all these various threats. In Pen and Paper, it is a low-level adventure, so basically for level 1 characters. So in DDO, they have translated this to essentially be the same. So the adventure pack is levels 1 and levels 21, which is pretty significant because up until this point, except for like one minor marketplace quest, I'm pretty sure Korthos is the only level 1 quest in the game. So this introduced new level 1 quests, and in addition to that, actually Reaper quests that you can play on level 1. Let's talk first about the adventure area of the Borderlands. So the Borderlands as a wilderness area is level 1 heroic, level 21 epic. It's really interesting that they decided to do a wilderness area, probably because they can't really do keep on the Borderlands without a keep and the Borderlands, which is why I'm assuming they did it. Plus it's as a low-level quest, low-level pack at level 1, it's going to possibly be one of the first adventures that brand new players experience in DDO. So they probably wanted to kind of show off the game as much as they could and make this pack extra special for that reason, to try and kind of attract and retain players. But normally these days, there are some exceptions, but the trend recently, really in the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years of DDO has been to not really create adventure areas unless they are in expansions. That's the normal thing that happens, but this is a definite exception, and it adds a lot to the pack, I have to say. And they really did utilize it pretty well, give you some reasons to actually run around in it, which I'll talk about later. But the adventure area, it has Slayers, Rares, and Explorers, and it's classic Explorers in DDO, so like walk-up Explorers. It's not the little Explorers where you have to kind of click on a scroll or a pamphlet or something like you might see in, say, like the Demon Web, for example. So you can go through the Explorers, find them all, and then uncover the map. In the wilderness area, there's actually no teleporters, and that's something that we've normally seen in wilderness areas in recent history in DDO. There are none, probably because they also introduced mounts in this update. So horses being the only mounts currently available. I personally like this. I think I've heard a couple little grumblings from players, but I think that's a good thing. It adds a lot of immersion. The runs at the same time they aren't that long either. They're really short runs, so it's really not that big of a deal to get on your mount and run to the quest. And I really am a fan of having to do that just because of the immersion. And as long as they factor in the runtime when they calculate, say, like the XP and the loot drop rates, then I'm fine with it, because then it doesn't feel like a waste. Whether they've done that here in these quests is kind of up for debate. You all can debate that, but I think I'm cool with it from a design perspective. So let's talk about the loot. The loot, like usual, really varies. They've added something in here for every class. I would say most classes in here. There's probably a piece or two that you'll be interested in. However, I think the one drawback of this pack probably is the loot, just because it is level 21 and level 1. So these are areas of the game that you're really gonna outlevel really quickly in epics, and especially on heroics. Level 1, you zoom past that so quickly. You're gonna be up to level 3, 4, 5 in no time. So you're gonna outlevel the loot a lot. So while there probably is a couple pieces that you might see, like I've seen, like there's trinkets with lesser displacement that are really nice. I saw a Pale Master item that looked pretty nice, but for the most part, you're probably going to outlevel the loot pretty quickly. The only real exception to this, I think, is if you're really into doing, say, epic reincarnations, then you might really like the level 21 epic loot, because it'll give you some good loot to some good upgrades to your gear set for low epic levels perhaps. But as far as the level 1 gear, I can't really see that being too useful since you just outlevel that so quickly. But there is one piece of loot that you'll really want in this pack, and that is the mounts. So let's talk about mounts for a little bit. So there are two types of mounts introduced into DDO in this update. There are normal mounts and fast mounts. Normal mounts, these move at 180% of base run speed, and you get these by collecting 15 qual feather tokens, which drop only in the chests of the adventure areas. So to get those, you have to find the rares and basically farm those out, or just if you have a map, you can just run around the map a few times and try to find all the rares. You'll probably get your base mount in not too much time. When I did it personally, when I was doing this, it took me about 2 hours, I would say. So I would say you probably can get this anywhere between an hour and a half to, if you're really, really fast, and maybe like at the slowest, maybe like 4 hours. But it's not too bad to get the normal mount. Now the fast mounts, a little different. The fast mounts move at an extra 20%. They're 20% faster in terms of base run speed. So instead of 180% base run speed, the fast mounts go at 200 base run speed. So in order to get a fast mount, you have to collect one enchanted horseshoe, which is only drops from the epic versions of these quests in the chest of the actual epic quest. So it doesn't drop in the wilderness area chest, only in the epic quest, not in the heroic, only the epic in chest. And it is a rare drop in these chests. I personally have not gotten one yet, and I've run the chain several times. It really is one of those things where you could get it on your first run, you could get it on your 50th run. It's a low drop rate item. You can also get a fast mount by just buying it directly from the store, from the Keep on the Borderlands bonus items bundle that they've offered. If you want to just get a fast mount and just buy it, or if you have no interest in Keep on the Borderlands, the adventure pack, and you just want to get a mount and that's all you care about, then you have to do that. Then you'd have to buy that bundle. This is one thing. Mounts are exclusive as of now. They're exclusive to Borderlands in terms of earning them in game. You can't again buy them from the store, but if you want a mount to earn one in game, you have to play Keep on the Borderlands. That will probably change in the future, I would imagine. There's already been rumblings that I've seen, and probably a great chance that other mounts are added in the future. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the future, maybe even as soon as the next update or two, you'll see new mounts in terms of an in-game exclusive that probably won't stay exclusive to Keep on the Borderlands for very long. Mounts are nice for what they are. You can use them in public areas and in wilderness areas. They do not work in dungeons, but they do make you faster. They do make runs to quests a lot faster, and they do make your character running around public areas faster. The best use for these is going to be low levels when you don't have your 30% run boost from, say, like a set of Strider boots, for example, or you don't have like permahaste or anything like that yet. That's when they're really going to be most useful from really those runs. And not to mention that the older content at the lower levels has a lot of wilderness areas that have maybe longer runs that don't have teleporters. A lot of the lower level content, the older content, doesn't have teleporters. So if you're into reincarnation, getting one of these mounts is going to be really useful. And luckily, Keep on Borderlands again is a level 1 quest pack, so you can still earn one even if you don't want to reincarnate and you just want to roll up a new character. You can quickly earn a mount, at least quickly earn a base mount. I would say you can Keep on the Borderlands within a few hours. So now let's talk about the quests. So the quests are very simple, which is not a criticism. It's to be expected. Again, Keep on the Borderlands is a level 1 adventure pack, so these quests, of course, are going to be geared more towards new players. That's to be expected. And the module itself in pen and paper is a module for new characters, so you have to expect that, and it's fine. Some players will like that. Some players won't like that. Just go into it knowing that these are more kind of quick play quests rather than something like Ravenloft, which is a deep experience with really complicated quests. So just keep that in mind. We'll go ahead and go over each quest one by one. Not a lot to say for some of them, but we may as well. So quest number 1 is called Watch Your Step. And these quests, by the way, can be played in any order. There is an order with the main kind of quest giver that gives out the chain, but from what I can tell, you can actually run them. When I ran the chain the second time, I just ran them in random order, and it's fine. So there really is no set order. From the order that the chain NPC gives you, this is what we'll go by. So quest number 1 is Watch Your Step. This is a very short quest. Like a lot of these, you kill some kobolds and rats, and that's about it. There is a few optionals, including involving a elderly kobold tribe, but there's really not much else to say about that. You basically have to go kill kobolds in a cave for this quest, so watch your step. Okay, quest number 2 is called the Bugbear Bandits. This one's also very, very simple. You kill a bunch of bugbears. It's very short. Not much else to say. Again, there's just nothing else really to say about these quests. A lot of these are geared towards beginners. They're a lot like the Korthos quests. A lot of these. They're very simple, very short, very small area, very small map area. So Bugbear Bandits, you kill a bunch of bugbears. You free some prisoners as an optional. That's about it. Apparently these bugbears are causing havoc in the area. Got to go take care of them. Okay, quest number 3 is the first quest in this chain that's a little different. It's called Violent Delights. And this is more of a find stuff quest. It's still pretty short, especially if you know what you're doing. It's short, but if you don't know what you're doing, it can take you a little while, maybe like 15-20 minutes, I would say. If if it's first time to kind of wrap your head around the quest, you need to actually read the NPC dialogue. So you basically in this quest, you're trying to pit one group of gnolls against the other. So you have to kind of walk through the story a little bit. You talk to a lot of gnolls. You have to find certain things to kind of convince one group of gnolls to go against the other. So there's not much combat in this one. There's a little optional with some fire beetles. It's a little bit of combat, and at the end you'll have an infight, but there's not a lot of combat. Mostly find stuff, talk to NPCs in the correct order. So it's a decent little quest. It's okay. It's nice that it's a little different from a lot of these just really short kind of hack and slash quests. So quest number 4 is called Treasure Hunt. Again, another very, very short quest. This feels, again, a lot like a Korthos quest. You have to find 3 crests in various parts of this tiny little map, and you get these crests, you open a barrier, and there's a guardian that's guarding this treasure, and you got to find him, and you got to actually, after you find the crest, you have to go in there, use the crest, kill the guardian, quest is over. Again, very, very short. Quest number 5 is called Obstructing the Orcs, another short quest. This one's a little bit different, especially the end chest. It's a little tricky. In this quest, there are 2 different orc tribes, one on each side of the map, and one is cold themed and one's kind of fire themed, and you have to go through and just clear out both of these tribes. So you have to go through each side, kill all the tribes, kill the 2 tribe chiefs, and that's pretty much it, except the twist is at the end. The end chest is guarded by a gate. So you have to find 2 levers that are hidden in the quest to open the gate to the end chest. Quest number 6 is called Caged Beast, and on this quest there is a tribe which has a caged beast, and you have to go kill the caged beast, as the name would imply. So I won't tell you what the beast is, but you go in the quest, very, very short again, kill this cult, find their beast, and take care of it. There's a small underwater section, but there's not really much else to say about this quest. Quest number 7 is called the Hobgoblin Horde. I would say this one is probably the biggest quest in the pack. The last quest number 8, is also kind of large. I would say this one might be a slightly bigger, but they're both decent. I wouldn't say they're super short quests. This quest, the Hobgoblin Horde, is probably about a normal size quest, maybe slightly longer than normal. But it's definitely, I would say, the biggest quest in the pack, but still not super long. It's pretty linear. You just go through the map, kill a lot of goblins and hobgoblins, and that's about it. It's just straight hack and slash. Quest number 8 is the final quest called Total Chaos, which is probably the second largest quest in the pack. There's kind of a cool mechanic with this one, is that there are 3 items you can collect, and you collect these items throughout not this quest, but some other quests in this pack. And if you have these 3 items in your inventory that you would have collected from other quests, you can basically plug them into, use them to complete an optional. Also a sub story here with a Medusa that you can either befriend and have them fight alongside you, or you can kill them. If you befriend them, the ending of the quest can be a little different, just depending. Other than that, you just kill enemies and you have a final boss. Pretty straightforward. There's some little twists with hidden doors and things, but not a whole lot else really to deal with. So, in summary, I would say Keeping the Borderlands is actually one of my favorite packs in a while. I like this definitely better than the Soul Splitter pack, which I reviewed, about a month ago. And mainly that's the case because we actually got an adventure area, which is something that I always love to see, and I'm probably in the minority there, but adventure areas to me make a pack feel complete. It gives you immersion that you just don't have when it's just 6 NPCs standing in a public area, and that's the whole pack. I really, really like adventure areas, and they did a really good job in this one with actually giving you reasons to engage in the adventure area. So you'll want to actually go through and find all the rares in this adventure area so you can get your mount. There's also name loot that drops in the adventure area chest, so that's cool. And there's no teleporter involved, so you actually have kind of a reason to go through and utilize that adventure area. Run to the quest, kind of get some slayers going on as you go there. Maybe find an explorer or two. So that's cool. I like that about the pack. On the downside, there are a couple downsides. The loot, again, is probably not what you're going to be buying this pack for, outside of mounts, obviously, because it just exists in level areas that you're going to outlevel really quickly. And unless you're really into epic TRing, I don't think you're going to really value the low level epic loot that much either. And again, you'll probably outlevel it pretty quickly. And it's too bad there's no legendary version of this pack. That's something I would have liked to see. I wish we had a legendary version for level 30, legendary version for every adventure pack in the game. But unfortunately, you can't do that with these. And if you want to play these in Reaper mode, they're so low level in epics that you can't even play them in Reaper mode if you're at level cap. Because they are level 20, 21 quests. So that's unfortunate. And the other downside of the pack is it's not really a downside. It's either you'll like it or you'll hate it thing, with the quest being short and simple. So it's good for short play sessions, but if you really want an engaging, immersive DDO experience, you're really not going to get that here. These are mainly simple, quick quests. So should you buy it? As of now, it really comes down to a couple things. One, are you nostalgic about Keeping the Borderlands? Did you play it in pen and paper, and do you want to experience it again? If that's the case, you probably want to buy it. 2, do you want to mount now? If you do want to mount, you'll have to buy Keeping the Borderlands, because there is no other way to get a mount in the game unless you buy it directly from the store. So that's just a couple things to keep in mind. If you want to mount, you'll have to buy it. Just keep in mind, though, if you want to wait, you can. It's very likely in the future that we'll see mounts in other new content, or maybe other new mounts in the store. The other reason to buy this pack is if you want just some new content to run on TR. So as far as a buy it, it's really up to you and what you're doing in game. I can't say it's a must buy simply because the loot is not must have, and there's other ways to get mounts. And aside from that, there's not really too much else that's really super appealing in the pack other than the content itself. So guys, that's going to be it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about Keeping the Borderlands, if you're enjoying it so far, and if you like it or not. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you next time. Have a good one, and take care.